Okay, let's start out here. Look at this. Starting out with the Queen's Gambit? You gotta be kidding me right now. I feel spoiled. Go knight h4 to try to take this bishop. He's going pretty easy on us. He's basically just handing it over. Okay. It's castle. I guess h3 here. You can try to play for this. Sometimes you can also play c5 and f4 and just go for a like a full clamp, but I'll go with this one here. I'm thinking about it. Obviously you have this, but there's definitely an idea here. I think I'm gonna try it. It seems weird, but if we can get away with f4, then could be something. So here, knight g3. I mean, you're not playing knight g3, surely. Okay. Now we can do this, but let's hold off. He's definitely gonna double, so we need an answer to this. I think let's do this because knight h5, rook here, it's quite offside. He's probably gonna go like this. Drop this. Go slow. We need to reroute a bunch of pieces here. f6 is also going to happen. Wish that we did it more properly, didn't allow this. Okay. Might be some moves here. Not sure how much I trust this. Takes allowed d4, so wasn't too interested in that. I would probably do that. Feels like the right move. Losing this pawn kind of loses the game, so let's see if we can do anything here. Ay. You really don't like to play this move, but what else are you gonna do? What else are you gonna do? He's got 3 pawns here. It hurts. Pawns hurt. I guess we go here, but to what end? We're not really threatening anything. I don't really have a way to stop this. I think you have to get the king to... I was gonna say to A8, right? That's the only hope. GG. Yeah, getting the king to A8, you have outside hope. Now I wish that we did more with this position, because I think we played it well, but I wasn't happy with what I did here. Now I liked his knight e3 move. This was a really clever idea, but what did we do wrong here? Because I think white should be a bit better. Kind of have a bunch of black pieces that aren't doing anything, and all you have is this doubling idea. But what did we really do wrong? Now, it's definitely possible that c5 and f4 is not the best, but I like it. I do this pretty often. As long as these moves don't happen, usually it's okay. Rook dg1. Interesting. What's happening here? h4 and probably h5, something like this. Kind of had a good position, but didn't play it that well afterwards. I still like white's position, but what are we doing here? Oh, this is a high level idea. This pawn's not actually threatened because knight takes is a bad pin to be in, and rook takes loses to bishop takes f5. So we had a good position, but we had to understand this, because if I, get my king out of the way, then regroup, then we start to really enjoy, because what's black doing? Like, this knight doesn't really have anywhere, bishop, none of the pieces have anywhere to go. He just has this, but we kind of blundered the position right at the point where, oh, if we just had one more move, play all these moves, then we would have some space to maybe try and improve. But no, we got caught before we could do that. Oh, look at this, blessed with the Queen's Gambit here. We've played this position before. Usually they play with bishop d6 in this variation. This move is not very effective, but I can tell that it's going to be coupled with c5 because it just doesn't really make sense to put the queen there otherwise. Bishop takes, knight a4 I think is probably good. Bishop b5 should definitely be the move here. We can also take here. Takes, we can also throw this in, yeah, queen takes, knight c7. We can take with the queen, and we don't really care about bishop b4, but even better is probably queen takes, bishop takes, and then queen takes. Let's think. Yeah, definitely. So bishop d6, queen takes for sure. Well, that's a terrible game from black there, unfortunately. But queen b6 is just not I mean, it's just not a move. Never seen anything like this in the Queen's Gambit. Because you're attacking a pawn that I can just defend with a very easy developing move, and then what's your follow-up? C5 before you're 2 moves away from castling. You're playing C5 opening the center when I can castle right away. Doesn't make sense, and it gives you an isolated pawn. So C5 was like a desperate attempt to justify Queen B6 maybe, but Queen B6 itself just shouldn't be played. I mean, what's wrong with this, right? This was no good. Still counts. Hello, Casey, New York. I was gonna say we still have hope of the D5 transposition. Right there, okay. The old Nimzo. Here, night before we can move. He thought he was slick with this one. He thought he was slick. He is slick. But I think it's unfortunate because it's a little bit lucky. Because Queen B1, he's losing a knight. Queen B3, he should be losing a knight. But we take here and he's still fighting, isn't he? Might he's gonna resign? I thought he would have some move here, like didn't fully get to the end of it, but like knight e4, for example? Like why is he not? I don't understand. Like I assume that white should be better, but this looks like at least playable. Like takes, knight c2 something. Knight c2, king f1. I mean, it's winning for white. Of course it should be, but anyway. not gonna spend my brain cells trying to make sense of his. Happy Friday, Eddie. Okay, we've played this line a few times. Hopefully it works out here. Tommy, thanks for the 113 months. Go, Tommy. Take control of this. We're doing our best here. And you can start thinking about bishop takes on g6 in some positions here. Knight f8. It's really not the way you're supposed to be playing this position. How can we make a nice threat here? Because I don't just want to trade a bunch of pieces. And that looks like our future at the moment. Let's trade one set of rooks. Really don't know how to continue to improve this phenomenal advantage. if you play h5, I think f5 becomes a good move. I do think f5 is one of our main ideas. g5 will happen, and we just need something to do then. Get off this diagonal, although it puts me on this diagonal, so maybe h1 was better. I'm not really sure. He doesn't have anything to do, but maybe neither do I. We could play knight e4. That's one of the reasons I got off this diagonal. I do not think that is a good move. I'm thinking about this and then knight e4. Maybe the other knight was a bit better, so we have this knight for h5. Yeah, this should be the position, I think. We're hitting this pawn. He shouldn't be able to keep this. You can play knight h7, but we'll be all over the dark squares there. And if you push, should be f6 every time here. Takes, just has to lead to mate. I'm not even really going to calculate it. It just must. Colored Binary, thanks for the 30 months with Prime. And of course, Pilsners, pay my Pilsners, 21 months. Okay, we take this. Game should be ending. Yeah, mate and one, look for better. Okay. Wasn't too difficult to break through there. Thank you, Sonic Fox, for the 29 months. Let's play the accepted. Welcome back in. JMC, thanks for the 6 with Prime. Not too bothered by this. We have a nice home for the knight on b4. Makes you think, can we do this? Just for the energy. Let's go. I'm not sure about that one, buddy. Put the bishop on c6. I mean, the game should be very, very good here. We're just up a pawn. We've also got b5. Probably take, but this looks a bit better. Clean extra pawn. I don't know that I like that move for him. So here we have this, obviously. He has to play b4, I think. If I play that, it must be too good. Now, he kind of needs to play b5, I would guess, to free himself. But I'm not seeing that it works. So the rook is fully trapped in here. No, we don't want to allow that. Bishop c4, we can go here. At the moment, we're always starting to take the a pawn. That's why I'm leaving the rook here. Trying to get all my pawns on dark squares, more or less, but not that easy to do. GG. Queen's Gambit accepted. Strikes again. It's working a lot better with the black side here. I gotta be careful. Can't be putting too many dubs on the board. Not from this side. Okay, we just had a free pawn in the center. At some point, you gotta call this bluff. Like, I'll take it. Thanks very much. Hey, we played this guy before. I guess we'll play the Queen's Gambit now. After Queen h5. I mean, it's a move, but like, my queen has places to go, right? So, I don't know. Sure, it's playable. Pilsners, I don't know. It's just the way they are. Well, we always have knight takes d5 or knight d5, right, to avoid any bad things happening. Like if we want to give back a pawn, but yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. e6. White usually goes for this like knight d2 setup. This here. Yeah, you have no power here. Knight d2, there it is. It's castle. Rook d8, I guess. There's always b5, but knight a5 is fairly annoying. Let's wait and see. Knight a4. Yeah. He's spending a lot of time to do this. We're going to lose the bishop pair, but even if knight d6, we were probably planning to give it up anyway. Should be b3, b4. Okay. I would have maybe gone b3. b4 is fine though. Rook c2 move. So his only ideas with e4. Otherwise, it looks like something's being lost. Yeah. So it has to be this. But it is just lost. Pretty sure. Okay. GG. Well, not much in that one. Too early to draw conclusions, though, courteous. Ooh, this is a shockingly low pairing. I don't even know how this pairing was possible, but he's playing the Queen's Gambit, so I'm not gonna complain. Okay, we've seen this line before. Haven't seen bishop d6 too much, but, you know, sure. It's playable. B6. Yeah, definitely don't think what he's doing makes much sense here. We can go bishop c2, but you know, we are handing over a pretty nice diagonal. But it just looks like it will bother him a bit more to not have the bishops traded. We definitely need to play rook e1 immediately. Just getting out of that pin to free up this knight only makes sense. I think our bishop's better than his. Yeah. Guess we'll try to keep the queens on the board. That's a boring move. H4. Yeah, there's always g6, so let's take here. try to play against this bishop, I guess. Feels like e4 is the move, even though it kind of gives me this pawn that we don't really like. Takes, rook takes. I think e5 is the way here. I mean, can't complain. f4, rook e3. Should be pretty good. GG. I thought it was a interesting game, but I always like getting this set up. Normally if black does some weird couple starting moves where they're like attacking the bishop, maybe threatening, not threatening, but planning to exchange, and we haven't developed a knight, I do like to play queen f3. And then this would be the setup. It's nothing really special, but okay. Plan might be f3, e4. Although I did like our idea to play e4, and then once we got e5, okay. I'm not saying it's a huge advantage, but we're better. We're better. And we got another d4, d5. Okay, all the Queen's Gambit players are hidden here. This is where they're being kept. Okay, we can certainly take, but I think I'll go here, just that if he wants to take us, he would have to play that move again. b5. Doesn't look like a good move. We can take that, but I'm not sure that's the correct decision here. Maybe it is, but it does allow that bishop to get there, so I'm gonna pass. Put this knight there. Oh, missed this. Because we don't want to allow bishop here, so it doesn't leave me much choice. I wanted to play knight b3, knight c5 is what I mean. So this is unfortunate. Definitely have to take here. Yeah. Definitely considering, but I mean, it's definitely no good. You just have to do all this just because of that one bishop a6 move, which there's not really anything we can do, unfortunately. I think we need f3. Just must be played. But in comes queen c2. I have to play this. Not a very pretty looking move. And this pawn structure is also 100% ideal. C1 is probably the best looking move I can think of. We're in, you know, serious trouble on the... I mean, yeah, even an opposite bishop position might even be very good. You never know. We managed to, you know, defend at the cost of absolutely everything. Ooh, that was clever. But we have no hope in this one. Damn. GG. Unfortunately, we missed one move, and basically you just lose the game after this. If my knight goes to b3, then the whole game is different because knight gets to c5, but I guess we just misjudged or mistimed it. And of course, in hindsight, bishop h2 would be much better. It's kind of a shame because the opening is pretty bad for black, so I usually like to punish that. Bishop a6 is so strong. I think I had to allow this move to happen and then try to get rid of it next move, but I didn't think of that. So we played knight c4, but it's bad. It's not where our knight wants to be at all. The knight wants to be on b3 and c5, so... Oof. Is e4 playable after b4? e4 playable after b4? No. Negative, sir. Top of the morning to ya. Okay. Let's turn it into something. Queen's Gambit E. No, it's not gonna happen. Oh, it's one of the most potent openings. Okay. I didn't realize you were the archaeologist who discovered it. But I'm inclined to believe you. Let's do this. How is e4? Because takes, this knight gets a little bit awkward there. Yeah, I kind of like this move, especially d4 just loses. I think he's in trouble. Almost have to play like f4 or something. Oh, now I think it's almost the only move. Okay, yeah, you can do this, but after g5 knight here, I'm not gonna move again. Can we go here? 92 here, f3. Let's do this. Yeah, this knight is really bad. Of course, h4, we're just going to play h6. And bishop e5 looks like a pretty good move. Rook d1 loses to bishop c3, which is helpful to keep our rook on that square. I think we'll see knight e1 though. We do. Still, this works. And we're starting to threaten knight g4. I guess this one exists. Bishop c3, bishop there. Yeah. Probably take this. f3, we can take or take. This doesn't deserve to work this well. It's incredible. kind of unbelievable. Didn't even like look at my time because position is just so enjoyable. Sometimes that happens. I'm like, oh my god, this is like the nicest position you're ever gonna have. Why can't even move? But I didn't even look at my time until here. But I have to say, this is wildly lucky that this doesn't lose. I mean, I'm sure we played probably the best line, but knight b3. I mean, the game should kind of be over here. Knight b3 keeps him in it. Regardless, this position is like, what are we doing here? It looks so nice. We've been playing lots of Queen's Gambit, so we can be happy about that. No, you missed it, Jumpy. You missed it. Or did you? Are we finally going to see it played correctly? No, still not. I wonder if we play d5 again. No, he's too high rated for this behavior. This move is not the best, but good things can happen. And no, not a very successful opening, that's for sure. But I did say when we played it, it's one that, you know, has been working fairly well against lower rated players, but best move there I think is a3 actually. Now we're gonna have some compensation here. We need an escape square before we do anything too crazy. And I like knight d4 next. We have pressure here. I don't know, it feels like he's kind of tied down. I'm not even sure that I'd rather play black anymore. This is definitely going to happen. Knight e6 doesn't do much there. Okay, well, we're already taking this, so that's a nice achievement. We already got our pawn back. Need friendly rook e6 or something. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happens there, but maybe it's good. Let's try. This is all part of the plan. Sort of a Queen's Gambit decline. Yeah, you're not supposed to play d5. I think a3, knight c6 is not the best move. I think a3 is good to actually prevent this altogether. I'm still surprised at 2450 we're not seeing the top move here. Bishop b4 check. Hello, Brazilian. Oh, an international master. Okay, nice professional d5 game, surely. Knight a6. Knight a6. Kind of a weird move. Now the question, do we play this? I think yes. Yep, let's do this. We can bring this rook to c1. We should be a bit better here. We have this a pawn. Can push that, bring this bishop. Yes. D5. This is what we're here for. c6. Played a game like this earlier today. Didn't go that well as our first game of the day, but I should be repeating it. Yeah, it is good. G5. I mean, I guess, but Queen G8 doesn't really do that much. However, we do have Bishop B4, so maybe that's relevant. Yeah, but I guess he has Queen F8, so never mind. Bishop here, Queen takes, hits this, but some kind of something looks like it should work here. Queen G8, Bishop C5, like things are covered. Queen G8 for sure. King here just loses, so you have to play king here, but then Queen F7. King here. Haven't quite got to the bottom of that. Actually, I'm still not really sure what to do there. Okay. I guess we can go here as well. Not that it really matters, but more d5 for us. We've been well behaved today. Oh, no, this isn't this is not a reward. This is a much more standard and good way of playing. I don't like this move. Mainly because of this. Gonna have to give this up anyway. Maybe white can be slightly better with an A pawn. I don't know. Eddie, you have to tell me, buddy. I got nothing. Are we slightly better? Is white to play for? Is white for choice? We can do this, but we're just not really that much better there. And if the king comes all the way out here, I'm not really loving the position. Our time is getting the better of us in most of these. Yeah, I didn't really like our opening though. Like I said, G3. It's not the move. It's not the move. Feels bad. I shouldn't have played G3. Kept it simple. Knight F3, E3. I don't know if that whole thing was forced, but it kind of felt like it. So I didn't really care for that opening by me. Opening choice, I should say. Variation choice. I think we've been playing this line. Let's maybe take here. Queen takes is pretty standard. So, should be C6, but not necessarily always. greedy. Don't play like me. Too greedy, I think. See Ed Vedder, Delio MD4. Why, hello there. Rookie 8. Yeah, this one doesn't really do much. Rookie 6, I suppose, is next. I got a trade. This is what he was setting up, eh? This is what he was setting up. Rookie 8. It was a strange move, but I guess it was just for this. Sneaky. Very sneaky. Can play H3. We're solid with this setup. The H-pawn's very annoying. If we got to maybe play that type of setup, it would be fine. Let's... We don't have good control over this square. Not good to see here. And then this. Yeah, I mean, there's no way that works. Rook takes, actually, I think is the one. Put the knight here, I guess. Really don't care for it, though. Queen b6, rook e2. Dude, the worst time for a mouse slip. So stupid. King G1, and I think it's just a draw. Like, we're just shuffling, we have everything defended, and this is the worst time. Man, what a bad mouse slip, or bad timing. Bad mouse slip makes it seem like it was the intent. Because I think we had, I won't say that we made a draw, but everything's defended, so I think we can just shuffle the king now. Didn't play queen f1. Why didn't he play queen f1? This is a very good move. We still have some moves to play, but we had brought it back to draw, I think. We got to win with h4, h5, and we're playing d4 to hopefully close out. Usually e4 is the move here. That's an annoying one, isn't it? Problem is, I actually want to play knight a2, and I can't play it now, so I'm not playing the right ideas here. Had to waste a bunch of moves just to play this, so we're suffering here big time. Because he really should just take and play b5. Like, white's position is just dead here. Yeah, I think that's a mistake, but let's see. I think takes and b5 was dominating. This also doesn't look like the right recapture. I think he's misplaying here. We can go here, knight h5. Also h5 and knight g6 I think is good. Probably should have played it on the last move. I might do that next. Especially because you can start thinking about something over there. I think this is good. Although, it doesn't do that much. If he moves the queen. So with knight e6 and g4, that's not really anything. He'll go back. No. Just playing to flag here. Just a freebie there. Huge queen's pawn win. This is the type of win they write stories about. I don't know. I mean, we're just playing so many games that are not the Queen's Gambit. I thought we would get it more often. Can't complain here. We really got a lot from this last episode, but the one before, just non-existent. Well done. You made it to the end of another episode in the Queen's Gambit speedrun. Make sure to like the video and leave a comment down below if you enjoyed. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you never miss the next episode.